If you are dealing with constipation, and I don't just mean occasionally having issues, but consistently not having regular bowel movements, I need you to understand something. Constipation is not the problem, it is a symptom. And most of the advice you've probably been given, more fiber, drink more water, take a laxative, might give you temporary relief, but it's not actually fixing what's going on with your gut with the underlying issue. Okay. So today I'm going to walk you through the five most common root causes of constipation that I see clinically, and more importantly, how to start thinking about fixing them the right way. So, little disclaimer here, yes, I am a physician assistant, but this video is for educational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. Please always chat with your healthcare professional before making any changes to your health, supplements, or medications. So, let's start with the first one, and this is the one almost everyone has heard of, but very few people actually understand it correctly. This is fiber and hydration. You've probably been told just eat more fiber. But here is the issue. Fiber without adequate hydration is like trying to move a car without any wheels on it. It just doesn't move, it just sits there. And it actually can make your constipation worse, okay? Fiber works by absorbing water and adding bulk to your stool, which helps stimulate movement in your colon. But if you're increasing fiber, especially quickly, and you're not increasing your water and your electrolytes with it, you're basically creating a traffic jam in your gut. I see this all the time. Women are trying to eat healthier. They're adding in more salads and vegetables and fiber supplements. And suddenly they are even more bloated and more constipated than before. This is because the balance is off. It's not just fiber, it's fiber plus hydration plus electrolytes, okay? And you have to go slow. If your gut isn't used to fiber and you suddenly double your intake overnight, your system doesn't know how to handle it. So, step one here is not just eat more fiber, it's gradually increase your fiber, hydrate properly, and make sure you're supporting your minerals. So, sodium, potassium, magnesium, because those are what actually allow your gut muscles to contract and move things through. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but my favorite electrolytes that I use every single day is Redmond's Relight. They have a proper ratio of sodium to potassium, and they have a lot of super yummy flavors. I just grab it off of Amazon. Okay, now the second cause. This is a really big one. This is underlying gut dysfunction. And this is where functional medicine really starts to differ from conventional medicine approach. Because if you have something that's like bacterial overgrowth, fungal overgrowth, gut inflammation, H. pylori, your gut is not going to function normally. Motility is going to slow down. Your ability to break down food is impaired. You get bloating, gas, irregular bowel movements. And this is where I see a lot of people get stuck. They're doing all the right things. They're eating healthy, they're drinking water, they're taking magnesium, but nothing is changing because there's something deeper going on with your gut that has not yet been identified. I had a client, she came to me, she was severely constipated. She was going maybe once every 7 days on a really good week. She had already tried fiber, probiotics, magnesium. Nothing worked. We ran a GI map test and we found that she had significant bacterial and fungal overgrowth. Once we addressed that directly, her bowel movements normalized. She's now going to the bathroom every day, sometimes a couple times a day, because we actually removed the barrier that was preventing her gut from functioning. And this is why I say all the time, if you don't test, you are guessing. And with gut issues, guessing only gets you so far. Now, third cause here, and this is one people very commonly overlook. It is your nervous system. Your gut and your brain are directly connected through something called the gut brain axis. And your body can only properly digest and eliminate waste when you're in a parasympathetic state. That is your rest and digest state. So if you're constantly stressed, if you're always in go mode, if you're always stimulated, if you're always thinking about the next thing, your body is stuck in fight or flight mode. And in that state, digestion is literally deprioritized. Your body is not concerned with having a bowel movement, it's concerned with survival. So motility slows down. Your stomach acid decreases. Your enzyme production also decreases. And as a result of that, constipation becomes a downstream effect. This is why I'll have clients who are doing everything perfect on paper. They're high performing, they're stressed, they're always pushing. and their gut is not moving because their body does not feel safe enough to prioritize digestion. This is also why really simple, free things like walking, breathing exercises, eating slowly, and not being on your phone during meals can make a huge, huge difference. Because what you're doing is you're shifting your body from that sympathetic state to parasympathetic state, and it's putting your gut in a place where it can actually function. Now, fourth cause here, and this is a really big one, this is reliance on laxatives. I actually have a full YouTube episode specifically on this, breaking it down in depth. So if this is you, please go watch that one because I teach you how to safely come off of laxatives and not be reliant on them. But here's the short version of that. Laxatives, they don't fix constipation. They basically force you to have a bowel movement. And over time, especially with stimulant laxatives, your colon becomes dependent on that external stimulation. So your gut loses its ability to function on its own. And then when you try to stop, constipation gets worse. This is called rebound constipation. And it's one of the most frustrating cycles to be in. So if you're currently relying on laxatives, the goal is not just to stop them cold turkey. It's to gradually wean off of them and retrain your gut while fixing the underlying issues that we're talking about in this video. All right, fifth cause here, and this one I really genuinely feel like is massively overlooked. This is not eating enough, okay? And that might sound counterintuitive, but here's the thing. Your gut needs volume in order to move. If you're under eating, skipping meals, or you're constantly dieting, there's literally not enough bulk in your system to stimulate regular bowel movements. And your body is also in a conservation mode. It is not trying to eliminate efficiently, it's trying to hold on to resources. This is something that I see all the time in women that are trying to lose weight. And if you're a bodybuilder or if you're familiar with someone that has done a bodybuilding competition, you know this is true. Towards the end of a prep season, most people just completely stop going to the bathroom. And that is literally because their food amount is so low. They're eating very low calories, high protein, very low carb, very low overall intake, and they're constipated. And that is because your body just literally doesn't have enough input to create output. I had a client who was barely eating during the day. She was trying to stay lean. Once we increased her food intake, which she was very nervous about, especially whole foods and healthy fats, her digestion significantly improved because now her body actually has something to work with. And your body needs more than just fruits and vegetables to go to the bathroom. You actually need healthy fats with all of your meals, okay? So if you're dealing with constipation, I want you to zoom out and ask these things. Is this a fiber and hydration issue? Is there an underlying gut imbalance? Is my nervous system constantly stressed? Am I relying on laxatives? Am I eating enough? Because once you identify which one of those things is driving your symptoms, that's when you can actually make real progress with curing your constipation. And this is exactly why I do not take a one size fits all approach with my clients because constipation is not the same for everyone. The root cause is different, which means that the solution needs to be different. If you've been struggling with this and you feel like you've tried everything, there's a good chance you just haven't identified the specific root cause yet. And that's exactly what we do inside of our coaching programs. We run the right testing, look at your gut, your hormones, your lifestyle. We build a plan based around that and what your body actually needs. You can apply for a free consult down below in the description. And if this video helped you understand something a little bit better, save it, send it to a friend. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one.